Hello. Hair's looking a bit flat. Hi everyone. Let's just angle that a little bit. Hello. I'm just loading up my laptop. I'm never ever quite on time, quite on the ball for these things. So do bear with me. And we've got some fun chatting topics today. A couple of hot topics to discuss. I hope you've brought your opinions with you. Hey Joss, nice to see you. I'm just loading up my old laptop so I can properly read the comments. So we are here, right. Lizzie's here. Hello Lizzie. She says, looks like I'm first and worst. I wouldn't say worst, Lizzie. Absolutely not. We've got Joss and we've got Scott. Says, hi guys. Curious Perfumer Arlise. Hello. And John Snow is here. Hi John. We've got Servus himself, Andreas, and he is the spark of this whole thing for me. So thank you, Andreas, for highlighting this topic. And after this video, if you haven't watched already, go over to Servus Fragrance and you can watch Andreas. He's done a really well researched video on animal testing in fragrances. Nothing too horrendous. I slightly was upset over the description of what happens to animals, but I already knew that. It doesn't go into too graphic a detail, but I still needed to kind of take a moment, if that makes sense. If you love animals, then just yeah, just know he will talk about a couple of things that go on in animal testing. It's not massively graphic. Most of it's about the companies and how you can do the research and the resources that you can use to ask questions and stuff. But let's just say hellos to everyone. So Rich Mitch, hey Ducky, nice to see you. Heather, Epinfrin FM, we need more mods. I think everyone is a mod already. Right, so everyone's greeting. Oh, Jimbo's here and Tony as well. Nice to see you. Okay then, yeah. Drink of the night. Oh, Mia's here. Hi Mia. Drink of the night. Pear drop gin. I'm only having one of these because they're quite sweet. Not too sweet. It's sweet and tart, much like a pear drop. And I have it with tonic water, slimline tonic water. There was ice, but that's melted now. But I find this is quite a little bit rich. I wouldn't really want more than a couple of these in a go. Gin is the future. Cheers everyone. What are you drinking? What are you eating? What are you wearing? We'll talk about that in a moment. I'll tell you what I'm wearing. Okay, let me know what fragrance you are wearing tonight or today, if it's still daytime for you. Pear drop gin. This one's from Asda's. Don't get triggered, John. My Asda's I have no issue with. I know John has a big problem with his local Asda's, but we won't go into that. We're not going to rate supermarkets again tonight. But yeah, pear drop gin from Asda's. It's kind of like their own brand, but I think it's like extra special, you know, whatever. It's not basic. Of course, it's not basic. So, Epinifrine is wearing Black Afghano. Joss is wearing Armani C EDT. I like that you specify the cologne strength. Chantel Tiffany. Hi Chantel. She says hi all. Mia's hot and bothered. Yeah, I can understand that. I've got the door open, just a little bit of air through. Tony's melting into his bed. Okay. Andreas is still wearing the sexiest scent on the planet ever from 4160 Tuesdays. Arlise is wearing Jasmine Narcotique by ATH, just got it today. And Jim is wearing One Umbrella for Two by Florecu. I love that one. Jon Snow is wearing Killian Kissing. Heather's hot too. It feels like 101 degrees. And Scott's wearing Alexandra J Silver Amber. Dion is wearing Tardes by Carna Barcelona. And Lizzie has got Meliora on. It didn't last long though. And I think that's all of us. Mia is wearing Black Dragon. Black Dragon, who's that by Mia? Oh, let's talk about my hair for a moment. I had a treatment. It's a Kerasil. It's not supposed to be straightening. It's supposed to just be like anti-frizz. But I tried to wear my hair naturally dried and it was going really straight, so I had to straighten it. But now it's like limp. I'm not used to this. So my hair is normally woo. So I'm really not used to how limp my hair is. And also the Kerasil treatment takes the colour off, which I quite like, this kind of blondie colour that I've been left with. But I've bought some funny, some fun like pastel purples to see if they will take on it at this colour and see how that looks. But yeah, I've got to now learn how to style my hair. Now it's kind of like different. It's a different texture now. It's all like, ooh, it's all very heavy. It's heavy, smooth. It's weird. I'm not used to it. Fab Trends My Mia's mango. So it's a mango fragrance, the Black Dragon one. By Byron. Okay, Byron Parfums. I know you're a big fan, as is Tony. And Epiphine. I need to try Byron. I hear only good things. Yes, I've got Muller Muller. I've actually lent that to a friend at the moment. He's got that down, I don't know, a couple of hours away that direction. A work colleague who's also into fragrances. So he's actually currently looking after Muller Muller. But yeah, it's a nice fruity fragrance with some depth, a little bit, almost, I don't know if it's supposed to be oody, but a little bit oody. But yeah, really nice. And I know that the sandalwood one gets loads of love, but I've not tried it, or Pirates for that matter. I'd quite like to try both of those. Joss says, very cute, Claire, the hair and the outfit. Love that colour. Thank you. Do you know what? I feel like I'm always wearing this dress now. Like, when you do YouTube, you become acutely aware of your outfits and the fact that you kind of wear, oh well, I do. I wear the same stuff all the time because my focus is elsewhere. I don't buy a lot of clothes. I'm too more interested in fragrances, so my clothes buying isn't that often. So yeah, I wear this dress all the time, but I do love the colour. It's not a colour I gravitate. It's not a colour I gravitate towards myself, but it does seem to kind of contrast quite nicely with my skin. Right, this is all getting a bit too, yeah. Right. Lizzie says, hair looks cute, very youthful. Oh, thank you, that's good. John says, if it's not broke, don't fix it. It looks really nice. What did Dan make of those samples? Ducky, I don't know. I said to him, take those and give him a sniff, and I've not heard since. So you'll have to ask him next time. He does get bogged down in stuff, so he sometimes ends up having samples and bottles for a long time before he even tries them because he's got so much stuff to sniff. So he's got them. That's the best. That's the best I can do. I've only had 2 gins. This is number 2. I haven't had any gin or any drinks, alcoholic, for about a week and a half because I felt like I needed a little break from it because I'm enjoying gin a bit too much. So I feel like because I haven't had gin for a little while, that 2 gins is maybe affecting me ever so slightly. So, well, you know, that's not a bad thing. Christy says, just stopping by to say hello. Dinner cooking time again. You're always cooking dinner when I go live, Christy. Have a great evening. Rich says he's eloped with Nivea. I bet, yeah, I'm sure he would have enjoyed. I definitely think he would love. I think I did get him to smell Nivea when he was here, but I can't really remember. Jane is here. Hi, Jane. And Swig, and then I think we're going to start the topic, although I'm missing something. I've got some frags here. I've got some frags. They're all cruelty free, and I want to talk about them. And I want to discuss the whole cruelty-free. I do that all the time. I mix up my thrus and my fruz. That Andreas has raised recently, the discussion on cruelty-free perfumes and the brands that are not cruelty-free. And I'd like to know how you all feel about this kind of stuff as well. So I'm just going to go and find the one fragrance that's missing, plus I need to make another gin. Do you mind if I just leave you? I know it's early on, I know it's very early on, but I'm going to make a gin, so I just need to get, I think I brought the gin over. Yeah, I'll show you, I've got another gin to try now. Well, not try, I've already tried it. I bought this one last week when I was on my way to I was going to go and meet my friend Cheryl and have a few drinks at her house. I decided to get this one, which is Bombay Sapphire limited edition English Estate, and this one's distilled at our Laverstoke Mill distillery. I just kind of like this thing. It's limited edition. I think the thing with gin is you can get into it in the way that you can get into perfumes, because it can be artisan, it can be all about the ingredients, it can be all about fancy packaging and limited editions and different flavors. So I can see how I've got into this. So here's the bottle I'm going to start drinking. But this is really cool. Down here is engraved, like you can feel it. It's not stickers, it's actually engraved. And it's got juniper berries from Italy, lemon peel from Spain, coriander seeds from Morocco, angelica root from Cerone, iris root from Italy. This has actually got iris root in it, and grains of paradise from West Africa, hand selected botanicals. So check that out. So if you're a frag head, and there's more notes on this side too, we've got berries from Java, cassia bark from Indochina, almonds from Spain. We've got almonds, love a bit of almond, licorice, pennyroyal mint from England, rosehip from England, and hazelnut from England. So if you're into frags and you kind of like the whole artisan approach, hand blended or handmade, hand distilled, then I think it could be quite easy to fall down the gin rabbit hole simultaneously. So I'm going to go make a gin now. I've got a glass, I've got a bottle of gin. I just need some ice and some watery type stuff. I'll be back. Talk amongst yourselves. Getting the ice out. She comes down Friday every time, stands out in line. Should have been anyone she sees, could have been anyone but me. There's something breakable just under her skin. American girl, Weber and North, we're all of the boys, holding a candle up to my hands. Oh, so aromatic. Right, I'm missing that fragrance. Let me go find the fragrance. Where is it? Yes. Oh, let's see that. That one. That one. That one. Holding a candle up to my hands. Sorry about that, just needed to get some stuff. Oh, They can go on the floor. I still haven't got my gin. Just getting my gin and I'll be 2 seconds. Right, I'm ready now. So yeah, this is that gin. It's very aromatic, just with slimline tonic. There's something healthy about gin, and I know that that's wrong, but when you think about all those ingredients, they're all very natural and they probably have some healthy properties. Yeah, so it's zesty, not really herbal, just zesty and uplifting. Yeah, I like that one, that's nice. So let's have a little catch up on your comments. Sorry for leaving you unattended. I hope that none of you have played with matches without adult supervision or let boys in your bedroom without leaving the door open. Wow, lots of comments. Probably can't catch up with them all. Oh, so we have olfactive stories here. Hello. And who else have we got here? Oh, Jackie's now here. Hi, Jackie. And Katrine. Hi, Katrine. Joss is asking if anyone knows anything about Blousy by Mila Harris. I certainly don't. Jackie says, I love we can hear Claire singing to herself while she pours a drink. That was my way of entertaining you. Yeah, not exactly professional, but yeah. Elaine says, off topic, anybody else noticed Tia Maria's changed its name? I hadn't, but I'm not a fan of Tia Maria. I don't like coffee, alcohol and coffee together. I had a bad experience. I'm never going there again. Rich Mitch says, Volutes by Diptyque is a London exclusive now. Diptyque, I understand, is a cruelty-free brand from a little scan of the Kitty website. Cruelty-free Kitty, I'm pretty sure she said Diptyque is cruelty-free. Just getting back on topic. Jimbo says, my Tione Rheinfeld Embers is out for delivery according to tracking. Should be delivered any minute now, so there might be an unboxing going on during this live stream. That is amazing. Jimbo, I can't tell you how much I love that perfume. I was actually chatting to Tione today. I got in touch because I'm scared she's going to run out. I got in touch and said, how's stock looking? Because I want to buy it at the end of the month, because I'm trying not to buy anything this month, or at least wait till the very end of the month, because I said I'm going to do July and August. But I'm so scared of it running out. But she has got some left at the moment, and she was happy to hold me back a bottle if I wanted. So I am 100% buying a bottle as soon as I'm letting myself do so, which is probably in the last week of August. I'll place my order, and that's my birthday present to myself, and it's probably the best thing I've smelled this year. I'm not even joking. I was telling Tione, it almost, well, no, it doesn't almost, it has an emotional thing with me. Like when I smell it, it's emotional. It's not just, oh wow, I really love the way that smells. It's a little bit deeper than that. I really, really love it. So yeah, I really hope, Jimbo, that you love it as much as I do, because I feel like it's really special. Just catching up with your comments. Tony, I thought Claire had disappeared to Smule. Yeah, I cancelled my subscription because it was a bit expensive and I wasn't using it enough, believe it or not. I miss it. I do miss it. I love Smule. Who doesn't love singing though? Singing is, I feel like singing is is the route to joy. Even if it's not for other people that have to listen. But singing brings joy. Listening to singing, particularly my singing, doesn't necessarily bring joy. But yeah, I still love it, and I'm not apologising for that. Rich says she's bargaining with the drink. What did I do to bargain with the drink? Andreas, I love gin, and it's one of the few alcoholic drinks I really enjoy. Yeah, gin is so the future, and I'm still new to gin, but I am loving it. Oh, Robert's here. Evening, everyone. Scent of the evening and night is Vivamore by Navitas. Oh, I've not heard of that or tried it, but obviously it's the latest one from Stephen's brand. Then, how do you like it, Robert? Is it nice? Is it good? Mia says it's too hot to go on the train with a mask all day. Oh God, yeah, I can imagine. It's bloody hot. It's awful. Even I was in the suit like this is the thing, when you have straight hair, when you have curly hair, Mia might appreciate this. When you have curly hair and then you straighten it, it's really heavy on your neck because curls are obviously, they've got air between them. So they sit lightly on your shoulders. When you straighten hair, it's like heavy. It's like wearing a scarf. I don't know if this is normal for people with straight hair, but it's like, oh my God. And you just constantly like lifting it up to cool down, or the only option is to tie, like all day long I've just had it tied back so that I'm not sweating in my hair. But yeah, I don't know why I just said that. Okay, let's see what you're all saying. Andreas read different things about Diptyque as they've got a boutique in mainland China. Oh, right, okay. So, yeah, I guess we should really get into this now. Yes, right. So just said, Commodity, Pinrose and Lush are my favourite cruelty-free brands. So Joss has used the abbreviation CF, Charlie Foxtrot. And I saw in a blog post today that obviously means cruelty free. So and all of those fragrances were in a blog that I read about today as being cruelty free, and I meant to go and get, I've got a travel size of Commodities Mimosa, which is really lovely, juicy, sort of citrusy, orangey fragrance. It's really lovely, and I haven't found it. I haven't really looked, if I'm honest with you, because I got the gin out instead. So that one is missing. But Commodity, I've tried a lot of their fragrances. They were really kind a couple of years ago, sent Dan and I a whole load of travel sizes. I've ended up giving them away, swapping them out and stuff. So I have got one that is the Mimosa one, which is lovely. And yeah, so Commodity are cruelty free. And that's what we're getting at, isn't it? What else was I going to say? Yeah, let's get into the subject. So Andreas has already pulled apart and researched and really gone into depth on his channel on his latest video. So I'm not going to try and just repeat what Andreas has said. I would just suggest that you subscribe to his channel and check out his video. Subscribe to his channel anyway, because he's fucking adorable and he's so fun. And he did the 7 Deadly Sins in a musical song thing, which was just brilliant. So regardless of anything else, go and subscribe to Servus Fragrances and also follow him on Instagram. But the point is, he has very recently, in the last couple of days, brought up the subject of testing on animals in fragrances, and it's painful to bring up and to find out and to realize that some of our favorite brands, in fact pretty much all of the mainstream big brands, are testing on animals. Not necessarily directly here in the UK, because in the EU testing on animals is banned. However, if they want to sell their fragrances in mainland China, then they have to comply with the law in mainland China, and that means that they have to outsource or have their products testing on animals. I think we can, most of us are old enough to know or remember when this was a big topic back in the 80s and before it got banned in the EU. And I do remember certain images and things of like a rabbit having something dropped into its eye. And yeah, like that's what Andrea said is part of the testing procedure, is that they will drop perfume in a rabbit's eyeballs. So, and there's obviously other aspects. So I don't want to get graphic and don't want to get nasty and horrible and turn everyone off, because I think we all know what animal testing is. I don't think we need to think about that or get too involved. I think we all know what it is. But it does pain me that big companies like Dior, and unfortunately a company that I love, Guerlain, they sell their products in mainland China. That means they have to have animal testing to be able to do that. The law is about to be changed, as Andreas told me. I think it's is it next year, Andreas? The law is going to be changed, and I guess we'll just wait and see what brands do and how they react, and we can check that they definitely stop testing. But apparently China could still go onto the shelves of the shops and take products off and test them on animals themselves. So the government, I guess, could still do that to any product in China. So there's a lot to think about, and there's so much research to be done. I don't want to get too much into the ins and outs of it, but I just want to, I guess what I want to do is shine a light on some brands that are not testing on animals. So if you want to research a bit more, go and watch Andreas's channel. Go on the website, which is Cruelty Free Kitty. I think it's crueltyfreekitty.com. It's very good. And there's other websites as well that you can look at. Peter and I think there's crueltyfree.com. There's lots and lots of resource out there, and you can just do a Google search if you're just curious about the own brands that you particularly love. You can do your research. You can ask them as well. I've asked today a few of my smaller indie brands that I'm sort of in communication with. I just wanted to check a couple of things, and they've been I kind of knew that they were all good anyway. It doesn't take much to figure it out that if they don't sell in mainland China and they're a European company, they're probably okay. But you know, you have to do your research. And just like Andreas, I'm not here preaching. I'm not telling you what to do, and I'm still not entirely sure in my own mind how I'm going to approach my consuming and my social media, because Andreas has made the decision to not highlight those brands that are still testing on animals, which I absolutely salute him for. I might go about things slightly different, because I still want to talk about brand new releases, even if they are from the companies that are testing on animals. You know, I want it. Chanel, for example, they test on animals, but if I can get hold of Le Lion, the new fragrance, I want to talk about it on my channel. So I'm going to go about things slightly differently, and I'm not telling you what to do, but I think it's nice and good that we all highlight that it is still going on and it is a problem. But the information is out there, and you can make your own choices, and whether it bothers you or not, you know, feel free to share that. I'm an animal lover. I'm an animal lover, but I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan. So you know, you could throw stuff at me and say that I'm what's the word? It begins with C. I can't think right now. I've just done 4 12-hour night shifts, and I tell you now, they're the most mental night shifts I've ever had to go through in my life. So my brain is a little bit screwed, I think. Anyway, let's have a little quick catch up on your comments here. Jackie says Diptyque is cruelty free. It's co-owned with Byredo, but is sold in China. If it's mainland China, then it can't be cruelty free, because they have to comply with the law, which means they have to animal test. And I heard that Byredo is not cruelty free. But there's also that line of smaller companies that are sold out to bigger companies. I know John mentioned it on my Instagram post, that Kilian are cruelty free and they're not sold in mainland China, but they are owned by a big umbrella company. I can't remember, is it Estee Lauder, John? I can't remember, but that bigger company do test on animals. So if you buy a by Kilian, you're still putting money in the pocket of the company that tests on animals. So there's another little thing to think about as to how you feel about that. What's your stand on that? Hillary's here. Hi Hills. Hey y'all, she says. I feel like this is quite deep. This is maybe too deep for me. 3 gins in. And Hillary says, I love that Kieran NYC is cruelty free and focusing on being as sustainable as possible, even with overseas shipping and staying at an affordable price point. Hillary, okay, we're going to start with that brand then. I have their sample set here. So Kieran NYC, they gave me this sample set at an event. They had a launch in London a couple of years ago. So I've got their sample set. This is the fragrances that were available at the time of the launch. I smelled a couple of these last night on skin. They've just been sitting here. It's very bad of me. They've been sitting here gathering dust. They're really pleasant fragrances. To me, they're kind of one step on the ladder into niche. They're quite mass appealing, but they are cruelty free, and that's what this is all about. Last night I tried Sunday Brunch, and I think that's my favourite. So Sunday Brunch, cheerful, energetic, luminous, and there's a sample there, and it's just this beautiful mass of citruses, and I feel like there's some grapefruit. It's like grapefruit juice, orange juice, and then later on in the dry down there's a little bit more depth. Nothing crazy. It's not really got any gourmand or any dark elements to it. It's just citrusy with, I guess, a kind of like woodsy backbone, but it's really nice. And then the other one I tried was 10 AM Flirt, which is this one here, and they call that a fresh, flirty, magnetic fragrance. I didn't particularly enjoy a period of time wearing that one last night. It's quite pleasant in the opening, sort of fresh, slightly floral, slightly green, but in the dry down I got this almost damp, mossy element, which I just didn't really enjoy. It went away after about half an hour, and then it was fine. It was okay. Didn't excite me too much, but I'd say they are a good sort of first step onto the ladder of niche if you want something that's still quite mass appealing and easy to like, nothing too challenging. So that's Kieran NYC, as Hillary said, completely cruelty free and very affordable as well, so they're worth checking out. That's the sample set that I got at the time. They probably have a few more options now. There's another one called Nitro Noir, and Santal Sky often gets compared to Le Labo's Santal 33. So yeah, Santal Sky reminds me a little bit of that, of Le Labo Sandalwood, pencil sharpenings, that kind of feeling, and fresh and light. And then the Nitro Noir, I don't know what this one's supposed to be. Let's give it a little spray in the air. That's darker, dark and sweet, kind of like a patchouli and woods and musk and some sort of sweetness and a little bit of brightness. Yeah, so they're nice, they're pleasant, they're definitely entry-level niche. If you're a massive frag head already and you've been into fragrances for a long time, they're probably not going to excite you too much. If you're just starting out, or if you only ever tried designers, I think they're a really good starting point to the niche world. So I'll pop those down there. Completely cruelty free. So that's Kieran, New York City, NYC. Jackie is wearing Rosé de Nuit Evening Dew, a violet perfume, really nice. London Niche Company, they don't even have a website. Oh, Jackie, please let me know. Send me their website link, or no, you said they haven't got a website. Send me some information, please, Jackie. Robert says, after some digging on both their American and Parisian websites, it's clear that there are diptyque boutiques in Beijing and Shanghai. Can't say I was surprised by this. They are an international. Yeah, they are. They're all over the place. They are mass produced. So I'm not surprised. Most of the mass produced companies, I say most, not, you know, obviously not all of them, but it's a big obvious marker. If a fragrance is mass produced, it's probably in China. You can probably almost guarantee it's tested on animals, but do your research. But all the big designers pretty much are testing on animals. Okay. Right, so Joss Jane says Pacifica is good too, and I think Elizabeth and James is cruelty free. Okay, Pacifica, I'm hearing good things about. They're an American-based company, so I've not tried them, but a few people have recommended them as good cruelty-free option. So if you're over that side of the water, check out Pacifica. Another one over that way is called Skylar, so it's Skylar. Again, I've not tried them because they are all that way over the water, but yeah, that they are another one. Hilary says Arquiste, quite lovely, also refuses shipment to China. Yes, that's true. I tried to find my sample of Sydney Rockpool that Lizzie sent me, and I can't at the moment. It's around, I think, because I wore it and I put it somewhere different, and I really like that one, Sydney Rockpool by Arquiste. But I also like that Architects Club, which is a beautiful sort of suede vanilla fragrance. So Arquiste, they are based over in the States. They are headed up by a chap who is an architect. That was his sort of first calling in life, and then he went on to creative director, creating his own company and having a fragrance company. And yeah, really beautiful fragrances, and they're cruelty free. So check out Arquiste. JC Russell is here. Hi JC. He says do a perfume compare video. On what? On the Santal 33 and Sandalwood Sky, JC, or something else? Tara says she loved the 7 Deadly Sins from Andreas. Yeah, that was brilliant. Hilary says I love Architects Club from Arquiste. Dry Woodsy Unique Vanilla. Yes, it's a really nice vanilla. I was so close to buying it a few years ago. In the end, I kind of just, my head got turned by other stuff, so I didn't in the end. Oh, lovely. Oh, I've dripped water on my keyboard. Yeah, Tara says, I believe most designer brands test on animals. I'm pretty sure they do as well, Tara. Matt from Pocket Sense is here. Hi, Matt. He says hello to everyone. Rich Mitch says, don't be graphic. No, we're not getting graphic now. Done that now. Like, that's as far as it goes. We're just going to highlight the cruelty-free stuff now. Yeah, Lizzie, that's a good point as well. It's not just about the nasty things that happen to the animals when they're testing them, but it's about how they are actually kept in the laboratories. I mean, it doesn't even bear thinking about. If you think an animal is just there to, you know, put substances on its skin or in its eyes or make it eat stuff, how well are they going to be treated when they're not being tortured in that manner? So yeah, that's what I had the same thought as you today, Lizzie, actually. And Andrea says, and they're usually euthanized afterwards anyway. So yeah, it's not good. It's quite horrendous. So I think, yeah, that's why my plan going forward is to highlight cruelty-free brands as much as I can. I'm going to formulate my own ideas about how I go ahead and cope with my love of Guerlain and the fact that I really wanted to buy their new L'Art et Matier Iris Tarife when it comes out at the end of the month. Whether I buy it or not, that's for me to kind of decide. Joss says Fleur and Ellis Brooklyn are good cruelty-free fragrance houses too. I have heard about Ellis Brooklyn because they have a pear fragrance I'm desperate to try. They are based over in the States again, so I've not been able to try them. They've got one called Sweet and Salty and one called, I can't remember, maybe you'll tell me, Joss. There's two that came out at the same time, and I was really curious about both, but the pear one, of course, in particular. Jackie's going to send me a picture of the fragrance she's talking about. Lizzie says the ethical standards are so low in China. I doubt the animals are regularly checked by vet and home office. Yeah, I doubt that too. Chris is in the house. Hey, Chris. And Tara says, I believe 100 bon or 100 bon is vegan and cruelty free. I think you're probably right. Yep, so that's another one. They are sold they're in a London store. I can't remember if it's Fortnum or Liberty. They're in one of those two, and they're affordable as well. And they're quite nice. What did I have? I had a couple actually. I can't remember now. But they are nice. They're nice. And Andreas has a problem with the next Joe Malone releases. He really wants to buy or try, but doesn't want to do that because he's trying to go cruelty free. But he's saying don't be too hard on yourself. Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, today I went shopping. I needed a new moisturiser. I was only in the supermarket, but I did have a good look, and I didn't buy any of the obvious brands. There was one called, where is it? Can't quite see it. It's just over there. I'm not going to go and get it, but it says on the box that it's cruelty free. That I didn't have time to properly research, but that at least is something. So I've got a moisturiser, but it's difficult. Like I just bought hair dye, and I've just realised only now they're probably tested on animals. I don't know though. It's if they're an EU company, but no, it's live. It's Schwarzkopf, isn't it? Live. And they've probably got a bigger company behind them that tests on animals, probably. Yeah, so it's impossible, I think, to just suddenly be cruelty free out of nowhere. I think just little steps, baby steps, change a few things here and there. That's my plan anyway. And as I say, I'm not telling anyone what to do. Don't do anything if you don't want to. Don't make any changes. It's your life, it's your choice. I'm going to try. I'm going to try and make small changes, and that's the best I can do. But my plan is to highlight cruelty-free brands more, and also when I review a fragrance, I'm going to do my research, and part of my review will include what I find out about the cruelty aspect of it, whether I get an answer or not, whatever. I'll share that with you. So Lizzie says, thanks for the highlight of this topic, Andreas. It's far too easy to consider the ethics of animal testing when spraying a fragrance. It's made me look at my collection very differently. That meant to say too easy not to consider. Yeah, I think we know what you mean, Lizzie. Joshua says from Adelaide, Australia, hello. Hi, Joshua, from all the way down under. I come from a land down under. Yeah, I won't sing no more, I promise. So, come on, let's get on with it. So I had a quick check on a zoologist website, and they are cruelty free. There's a little bit of a blurb about their policy on it on the website. So here is my bottle of bee. They do use some animal products, but they are not tested on animals, and I understand their animal products are ethically sourced. So that I'm pretty sure there's beeswax in here, which is obviously a product of bees. but I think they are sort of no harm done to animals, because obviously Victor Wong is a massive animal lover, and that's why his whole range of fragrances is inspired by animals. When you look at his social media, he's always got his cat Doodle. He loves animals, so I kind of felt fairly confident that he's not going to be testing on animals. But you can go on his website, there's a little statement somewhere, I found it, I can't remember what it said, I'm not going to quote it to you. If you want to go check it out, if it's a brand you're interested in, go and have a look. If not, don't. But yeah, I really love Bee. That's probably my favourite from the brand. Look at that lovely bee, so cute. I just love this. To me, it's like a dark honeycomb scent with a bit of incense, and then it goes into sort of like vanilla and heliotrope. I just love it. It's so good. So good. Adore it. So yeah, Zoologist is good. Andrea says, I guess I wouldn't buy second-hand fragrances right now, but I would look for cruelty-free alternatives. There's enough choice out there. Jackie says, I would be shocked if Victor wasn't cruelty-free, so thank goodness. Andrea says, but I still don't know how I will feel about this next year if China doesn't demand animal testing anymore. I just feel that I shouldn't support brands that, well, you know, are greedy. Yeah. Lizzie says, Zoologist is such a wonderful brand. Yes. Love that. And I love Victor. He's so cuddly. I met him last year at Essence, and prior to that I just couldn't wait to meet him because I wanted to give him a big squeeze. It was just he's one of those people you want to give him a big squeeze. I told him as well, I was like, when I see you, I'm going to give you a big squeeze. He's lovely. He's absolutely adorable. Yeah, Joss is saying to Andreas, thank you for bringing awareness. It's definitely more on the radar in the beauty communities than Francom. Yeah, I think you're right, Joss. And Brandon's here. Hi, Brandon. Well, I challenge all of you to bring up the subject on your platforms. Joss, obviously, you've got YouTube. Everyone's got their own little platform, even if you're, you know, not really into social media. I'm sure you still do a little bit of Facebook or whatever. Just bring the subject up, share your opinions, share your resources, and make your choices. You know, I'm not trying to tell anyone what to do, but make your choices. Joshua, would you compromise an amazing fragrance for animal testing? Well, it depends exactly what you mean, Joshua. If you said, I'm going to make you the best bespoke fragrance in the world, but we are going to have to pour it into a bunny's eyeballs, then the answer is no, I wouldn't do that. If the question is, will you buy that Guerlain fragrance that you desperately want to buy, but they do test on animals? Well, the brand itself, I don't think tests on animals, but they have to in some way have their products tested to sell in mainland China, so they are part of the problem. But yeah, I honestly don't know the answer to that, because I really want to buy that fragrance. So yeah, I'm not perfect at all. It's a tough choice, and I'm certainly not sitting in judgment on anyone else for the choices that they make either. George Hart says, hi Claire, love from Australia. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be directly responsible for pain and suffering to an animal. Part of you thinks, well, it's already, it sounds really bad, but it's already happened, so you don't feel quite as responsible if you just buy a bottle. But I mean, this is a debate I need to have with myself, and this is a debate that if you are interested, you need to have with yourselves. Lizzie says, test it on bloody convicts and shitty humans. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Test it on me, I don't give a fuck. Or just don't put it in my eyeballs. Hilary says, it doesn't need to be tested at all anymore. Our chemistry is far advanced from where it was when we first started. Exactly, Hilary, and the whole world knows that. Europe knows that. That's why it's banned. But for some reason, China's a bit slow on the uptake with it. Right, let's talk about another fragrance. So The whole thing that started Andreas off was a company called And Perfumes. They've just started up. It's And with a little thing above it. It's got a, what do you call it, an accent? It's probably a specific word for what's above the A in the word and. And Perfume is headed up by Simon Constantine, who you may know from Lush Perfumes. So Lush Perfumes have been heading up and fighting animal testing for years, and absolutely years. They're ethical. They're pretty much anarchists, but in a good way, just fighting for ethics and anti-cruelty and just anti-consumerism. So I don't know if that's quite right, but you know what I mean. And Perfume is Simon Constantine. So he's moved away, he's sidestepped from Lush, he's got his own brand. And I bought, a little while ago, I bought their first perfume. It's called Bean, hashtag Bean Sprayers. Bean is a really heavy tonka bean fragrance, and I talked about that in a live stream. I can't remember if I did any more about that, but I talked about it in a live stream a little while ago. And then today in the post, they very kindly sent me their latest perfume, which is called Sand, and I've taken it out of its little covering here. It's protected. They come in this protective cardboard covering like this, and it's a 10ml. It says Sand, and you have that little circle above the A that I'm talking about, which probably means something. And this is a sandalwood fragrance. It's got a lovely freshness to it, and obviously because it's Simon Constantine, he has carried over the sort of the ethics that he was brought up with when he was in the company Lush, which is his family business, and he has got this sustainable sandalwood, which I understand is from dead wood, so they're not chopping trees down to get the sandalwood, and they don't test on animals, and they look at all the stuff, all the sustainability, all the ethics. And this brand is what Servus Fragrance Andreas credits with starting his journey into looking into cruelty-free fragrances. So I have to talk about this now. Rain on the roof, sorry about that. Just quickly reading your comments. John says it's important to remember as well, it's not just China, it's just because the highlight is on them at the moment. I think, John, the reason the highlight is on China is just because that's where the money is to be made. So there probably are other countries that have the same laws as China, but probably these big companies could do without being in those countries. But China's where the money is, and that's why China is the focus. And Joss points out it's the Chinese government requiring the testing, not the people. Absolutely, yeah, and I apologise if my wording's not been correct on that score. It's the government that requires animal testing, not anyone else. Matt says America still has lots of animal testing. Chris says hashtag bean sprayer. Rich says life is cheap in China. There's a population of over 2 billion and a massive diverse animal kingdom. When there is more of something, it becomes worth less. Rich says wish it would rain here. Well, I don't know if it's really cooling anything down, to be honest. Holly's here. Hi, Holly. Hi there. I'm just watching in silence. 100% agree. There is no reason to test on animals or anyone, and it's important to actively seek out cruelty-free brands. Yes, definitely. Rich says it's so hot. Right, let's have a little spray of this sand because it's new to me. I sprayed it this morning before my shower, so it was only on my skin for a couple of hours while I sat in the sun, and I was really impressed with it. Oh, it smells, I can't remember the notes, but it smells like a combination of citrus sweets, like citrus jellies, coffee. You can smell the sandalwood straight away. There's no waiting for the sandalwood to come. But it is like, it's dark. When you go up close, it's dark, but on top, in the air, it's fresh and almost peppery. Yeah, it's peppery. It's like lightning striking the earth. And yeah, it's a bit earthy as well, actually. Like wet earth. It's everything all rolled into one. And from a distance, it's prettier. Up close, it's darker and a little bit more challenging. But it's like a mixture of coffee grounds and soil and sandalwood with some citruses and peppery. It's really nice. It's more of a, it feels more of a slightly colder weather fragrance at the moment anyway. But it's good. I like this more than the bean one, the tonka bean one, because that was maybe just a bit too heavy on the tonka bean, I guess. Olfactive Stories says it's still 30 degrees outside and almost 1 AM. Wow. Lizzie says don't hog all the rain. Send it over to Surrey. Well, you're only like, what, 30 minutes, 40 minutes that way. Like, just throw it your way. Yeah, I like that one a lot. So, and perfumes are one to check out. If you already like Lush, you're probably going to like and perfumes as well. They've got a website. They do samples. You can buy a sample set of all of their fragrances. I've tried bean and sand so far. Definitely feel like they've got nice quality. They use sustainable ingredients. They're fair trade. They make sure that they look after their suppliers. So all of that stuff I think is really good. So definitely go check out and perfumes. Elaine says citrus and green notes I like in this weather. Andrea says Santa's also got banana, but it actually adds luminosity. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I pick it up, but it's definitely got some stuff going on that I can't quite articulate. And yes, you're right, luminosity. It's got a vibrancy to it. It's not just full on heavy. It's kind of got a bit of a heavy depth to it. But it also has that, like you say, luminosity, Andrea. It's like that effervescence. Witch Mitch says it's got Jungle Jezebel for sale if anyone wants it. Big banana scent. Andrea says I don't really get it as well. Thank God I don't really like banana. There you go. Yeah, I mean, if it's in there, it's just blended in with everything else and just gives a facet, I guess, a slightly fruity facet. But yeah, it's not, don't expect to pick out banana, I would say. It's nice though. It's making me think of lightning striking soil and like that, and the pepperiness of that. Right, let's do another frag. Clean Reserve. They are cruelty free. This one's called Radiant Nectar. This is the only one I've tried. When they were selling this, they were giving some money to help the bees, I believe. That's why there's a little bee on the front there. I think they have lots of nice ethics. I don't know all the details. I'm not going to pretend I do, but I do really like the fragrance, and they are definitely cruelty free. This one, Radiant Nectar, to me smells like pears and biscuits. Biscuits is as in the UK biscuit, which you guys in the States would call a cookie, but not a cookie with any added sultanas, chocolate, what do you call them? No added chocolate, no added anything. More of a quite a plain cookie, just a kind of like biscuity. In the UK, like a more like a digestive biscuit or a rich tea, like quite a plain biscuit. Just a hint of sugariness. I would say it's a digestive biscuit base, like we have in cheesecakes. It's a pear cheesecake. Yeah, we're gonna call it a pear cheesecake. Really, really nice. There's ambrette seed in there, so it's kind of a musky feel, and it's quite linear, and it's a little bit fresh. So to me, this is a really good summery, gourmand, summery, fresh, sweet fragrance, and I really like it. So Clean Reserve. So I haven't tried anything else by them. If anyone else can talk about Clean Reserve, do so in the live chat. But I really like this one, so I'll be curious to try other fragrances from the line. I have heard from other people that is their favourite from the line, and some of the others are maybe just a bit more mediocre, but I haven't tested them myself to say what I think. Tony says, did someone mention cake? Cake. Jackie's tried a few Clean Reserves and like the line. Jimbo has Clean. Do you have that one, Jimbo, the Radiant Nectar? Let me know what you think of that. Holly loves the Clean Reserve fragrances. Rich, are you on StreamYard? No, I'm just on my directly to YouTube on my phone. Why is that, Rich? Any connection issues or something? Or you want to come on? Rich, I'd love you to come on a live stream. I can't do it now because I'm not on StreamYard, but if you want to come on anytime, the ducky is always welcome. Jimbo says Reserve warm cotton smells like fabric softener. Tony says anyone would think I like cake. I'm not sure why. I honestly don't know, Tony, where that reputation for loving cake comes from. So we're going to move on to some more brands because I've got a few here. One that I've recently discovered, and I talked about it earlier. Tioni Rheinthal. This one's Blue Lotus, and Tioni commented on my Instagram post, as did a few other people, to say that everything is, I can't remember, but it's cruelty free, absolutely not tested on animals, no animal products. It's like as clean and as beautiful and as ethical as you can get. So Tioni Rheinthal, based over in Australia. If you're already in Australia, you are doing yourself a disservice by not testing out this brand. It's slightly more expensive for us to get it over here because obviously shipping, customs and all that stuff, but in my opinion it's worth it. It's all natural, blended to perfection. I love this one, but even more I love Embers, which I spoke about earlier. Let's go get the sample. Yeah, so I've got Embers in here. Embers, I love it. I can't stop. I've already pretty much emptied out. These are 3 ml samples, and I can't stop spraying Embers on myself, and I'm going to do it right now. I've got, oh, I haven't told you what I'm wearing tonight. Bois d'Harmonie from Galan, here and here, and My Insolence from Galan all around here. So Galan is not cruelty free, unfortunately, because they sell in mainland China. So unfortunately, that is the case. I love the brand, I love the perfumes, I love Thierry Wasser, their perfumer, but they are not cruelty free. So going forward, I'm going to always try and let you know the status of brands when it comes to the cruelty aspect. But Thierry Reinfeld, Embers, I'm buying this probably in the last week of August. I can't wait to own a full bottle. It's the best vanilla fragrance I've ever tried. It's the best fragrance I've tried this year. It's probably the best fragrance I've tried in several years. It's just stunning. It's really it's kind of simplistic, but it's so beautiful. I love it so much. There's a vanilla tincture in here, which is vanilla beans from Papua New Guinea, and Tioni has tinctured those vanilla beans, and they smell like almost like cherry almond. They're almost like tonka-y, but tonka can be quite heavy, and this has a lightness to it. There's a subtlety here. It's musky. There's this beautiful sandalwood that doesn't come out to my nose until later on. About an hour in, I start to realise there's sandalwood. Say, for example, the And perfume, I can smell that sandalwood straight away. And they're different sandalwoods. So the sandalwood in the Sand perfume has an Australian sandalwood. The sandalwood in here is a Mysore sandalwood. Oh my God, it's stunning. Absolutely stunning. Holly says, Amazon delivery, it's time to put my lady muscles to work building a bookcase. Oh, good luck with that. Oh my God, I can't bear building furniture. Well, to be honest with you, I've never built furniture. I just look at it and cry until someone builds it for me. That's what I do with tents as well. Someone else has to put them up for me, and I will cry until they do. Just says to Andreas, commendable of you and Claire to raise awareness. I like Claire's idea to make small changes, baby steps. I still want Narciso Ombre. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty certain that is probably not cruelty free. That was on my to buy list. I might strike it off, but as I say, I'm not decided yet on my stance on how I'm going to deal with this. But yeah, yeah, I might not buy that one. I don't need it. Sorry, I've still got rashes on my face. Right, just read your comments. Jackie says, sounds fantastic. Anyone knows if there's a US distributor? If we're talking about Tione Reinfeld, I'm pretty sure you have to get it directly from her website. And I'm not aware of any distributors. Matt from Pocket Sense says, Nigel builds tents, I hear. Nigel, I'm not sure who you mean. Tara's off. Olfactive stories. Good night, everyone. I need to go to bed. My little monster wakes up in 4 or 5 hours. Good night, Tara. Who have we got here? Empty scent. Hold there, he says. Oh, I'm getting really. I've been mixing up my people. I'm really sorry. Olfactive stories. That's Karine, isn't it? Olfactive stories is a French lady. Someone help me out here. Because there's Karine and there's Tara, and they have a similar YouTube name. Tara is the American lady, and Karine is the French lady. But I'm mixing up your channel, so I'm really sorry that I've been mixing up your names tonight. And I think that might be down to one of you lot as well. I think one of you's confusing me. So, and we'll just blame it on the gin if nothing else. Oh. Okay, Jackie says, oh, sorry, Corinne mixed it up too. Yeah, so Corinne is the French lady and she is olfactive stories. That's right, isn't it? I think. And then there is another lady who I don't think is here tonight, and she has a similar YouTube name with olfactor something in the name, and she's called Tara, and she used to be called Tara. Tara. She kind of made a word out of her name. Anyway, I know this is all going wrong now. Andrea's saying he feels kind of bad about raising this topic now because I don't want anyone to feel guilty about the things they love. The thing is, Andreas, I think it's important that people know, and then like you've taken a week to process it and make your own mind up about what you want to do. You've certainly made me think, and I'm going to take a little bit of time about how I want to go ahead with stuff, and everyone else in the chat here, or if they watch this back, if they're mental, then they can take their own time and make their own mind up, and you know, don't feel guilty about raising an issue that's really important. I certainly really appreciate that you took the time to do all the research that you did, and the way that you presented it in your video I think was excellent, and I salute you, sir. And don't feel bad, you know. There's no harm in making people think. That's a good thing, right? Surely. No one's sitting here in judgment. I've not seen any judgmental comments from anyone. So yeah, I think it's just important to find out about stuff, do your own research, make your own mind up. And I don't think anyone's sitting here in any sort of judgmental state. Spy and Mash is here. Hi, Spy and Mash. And Jimbo wants to buy Baccarat Rouge 540 extract for his birthday. I mean, yeah, I'm assuming MFK is not cruelty free. Oh, my face is really itching. Don't know why. It must have been the sun, got a bit of sun today. Oh, that's it. Terrible decisions. Joss says, I am no one to talk about terrible decisions. Yeah. The other olfactive name is Tara, and she used to be, or she has a channel called Terrible Decisions. Yes. Tony says, don't forget to like, everyone. Yeah, if you don't mind, chuck a like on my channel, on my video. That would be very kind of you. No pressure though, you know, if you don't want to. You can click the thumbs down if you want. I don't mind. You can even call me a dickhead. I don't mind. I'm cool with it. In fact, to be fair, I'm a bit of a dickhead. Right, come on, let's carry on. So guess what? I did some research on a big brand and I thought that they were going to fail. I was absolutely certain that they were going to fail. And the information that I found was that they are cruelty free and they are Creed. If anyone has any contradictory information, then do share. But the research I did quickly on Google, Creed do not sell to mainland China. They do not sell in mainland China. They do not test their products on animals. Some of their products contain animal thing. Some of their perfumes have animal products, and I think they're referring to ambergris. So usually ambergris is just beach combed off the beach. Therefore, I'm pretty certain you can't be cruel when it comes to obtaining ambergris. If anyone has any information on that, let me know. I'm pretty sure the only way to get ambergris is to find it on the beach or bobbing about in the ocean. So Creed, from my own research, are seemingly cruelty free, which I was surprised about because they are so mass produced. I was really surprised that they are cruelty free. This is Virgin Island water, which is a lovely zesty tart lime. and coconut. The lime is ridiculously long lasting for a note that's supposed to disappear quickly. It lasts hours, and a beautiful coconut water and lime fragrance. So quite linear, quite simple, a bit sugary as well, really pleasant and crowd pleasing fragrance. My favourite fragrance from Creed is Spice and Wood, and I really like their Sublime Vanille as well, but they are super expensive. Is anyone surprised about that? Has anyone got any information about Creed in terms of their cruelty animal testing line? Tony says, I liked and called you a dickhead. Thank you, Tony. Georgia says, you're gorgeous. Why would anyone call you that? Thank you, Georgia. Joss says, gorgeous and super sweet. Oh, you're too kind. Jimbo says, Eugene just put up a video on Le Lion. Oh, I'm going to watch that then. Let's see what Eugene has. The channel You Smells Good, and he has just put up a video on the new Chanel Le Lion or Le Lion. John Snow says, I would question them wish.com Creeds. Yeah. Andreas, wow, that's amazing that Creed doesn't test on animals. Even me as a vegetarian don't care about ambergris. Yeah, I mean, what's to worry about if it's just picked up off the beach? Yeah, it's an animal product, but it's like, I don't know, like today Sweetie's been sick, bless her. She's been sick a couple of times. I don't know if it's the hot weather. I hope she's not ill, but if I then pick up her sick and make something out of it, like, why would that offend anyone that loves animals? I mean, it might offend people that don't want something made out of cat vomit. I can get that, but yeah, I mean, it's essentially it's it's something a whale no longer requires, and they sort of squish it out, or they throw it out of their, I don't know, there's a couple of different stances, whether they poo it out or whether it comes out of their the hole at the top of their back. What's that called? A fin? No, that hole at the top of their back, anyway, that they squirt water out of. I think that's where the ambergris comes from, or some people say it comes out of their bums. Either way, it's not like they're farmed and killed for their ambergris. So right, so Hilary says MFK is owned by LVMH, which does sell across mainland China. Empty sense, I test on animals being me. Yes, and I test on this animal here too. Matt says ambergris can be both ethically sourced or extracted from a dead or killed animal. Do you think, does that actually happen though, Matt? Because like, it's almost like killing the goose that laid the golden egg. Like, if you kill a whale for its ambergris, you're only going to get whatever's in it, and then that whale is dead and gone. Whereas if you leave it swimming out in the ocean and then just pick up the bits of ambergris that it spurts out, you're going to get lots more, aren't you? Let me know what the what information you've got on that. Andrea says, Hilary, the sub-brands can be cruelty-free like Le Labo. Joss says, need to run. Thank you, Claire, and everyone. Sending hugs to Sweetie. Thanks, Joss. See you later. John has lots to say about Creed, but not about the cruelty issues. Hilary says, according to LVMH, they are working on distributing into the Asian market. Not sure how far they've made it with each individual sub-brand, but the article I read made it sound like it was. Jackie says blowhole. So I think we're referring to the little hole at the back of the whale that spurts out water. Empty sense, I just gave my cat a bath. Oh, I bet they weren't impressed with that. Mia says, did you guys see Arisha Ladore's video today? No. He was talking about birch tar. No. What's the deal, Mia? What's the dealio? Ron says, any experience with Fleur? Apparently cruelty free. Greetings from sunny and hot Las Vegas. I don't have any experience with Fleur, Ron. I'm sure someone in here has. I think Holly, she's gone now. I think she mentioned Fleur as a cruelty-free brand. Have a look when you get a chance on the Rouge L'Adore channel, says Mia. Okay, will do. Right, let's move on then. So another brand that is cruelty-free that Andreas mentioned in his video is 4160 Tuesdays. Here is a really fun fragrance from them, which is called What I Did on My Holidays. It's not focusing, of course. I love 4160 Tuesdays. They were the niche indie brand that sent me down the rabbit hole when I first stumbled upon the fact that there's more out there than just what you find in the department stores. 4160 Tuesdays were the first brand I really came across, and What I Did on My Holidays is a fun, minty, gourmand, fresh, kind of almost aquatic fragrance. It's like, it is mental really. There's notes of candy floss and mint rock and vanilla ice cream with some seaweed and sea breeze and a little bit of suntan lotion, a tiny hint of coconut. Really fun. I think Andreas, you've got this one, haven't you? I know Andreas is a massive fan of mint, and he's definitely a fan of 4160 Tuesdays. I feel like I've seen you talk about this one. Yeah, such an interesting take on mint, and I love mint, says Andreas. Georgia says 4160 Tuesdays do awesome frags. I love Over the Chocolate Shop. Yes, me too. Oh, gorgeous, rich, dark chocolate with hazelnut and coffee. It's not too sweet, and yeah, it's beautiful. This is probably one of the more unusual fragrances. It's really unusual to have this sort of fresh mint with these gourmand elements, with a little bit of a seaside, sea breeze, seaweed. It's kind of crazy, it's fun, it's frivolous, just love it. But 4160 Tuesdays definitely do not test on animals. They do not sell in mainland China, and Andreas covers that in a lot more depth on his video, so do please go and check that one out. I'm not going to just repeat what Andreas says. I think you should just check out his video. But I'm a massive fan of 4160 Tuesdays, and this is a really fun fragrance. Sorry for the whatever the hell that is. Motorbike, I guess. Face is still itching. How long have I been going? Wow, 82 minutes. How is it 82 minutes already? I've got more frags to talk about yet. Yes, Andreas used the 4161 I just mentioned in his big splash video. I mean the big squirt video. And Hilary says, What I Did on My Holidays is my favourite mint. Yeah, it's beautiful. Jimbo says, we've nowhere to go. Stay as long as you like. Okay, maybe I will. Maybe I will. I think I need to chill though. You know, it's like when you do lives, you obviously have to be a little bit upbeat, and I'm fine with it, you know, but I'm a bit tired from 4 12-hour night shifts, so I probably won't go on too long. I've got 3 more brands that I'm going to talk about. Obviously, if you guys have any brands you want to share in the chat, please do. And I urge you to just think about the topic, and if you want to highlight some issues on your own platforms, let's kind of bring this up, because I think a lot of people are not ignorant, but maybe just happy in their ignorance. And I was there too, happy in my ignorance that probably they're not testing any of these things on animals anymore. And I think it's an issue that needs raising. Right, let's move on. So I reached out to Peter Carter, our lovely Peter from Centauri Perfumes. I just quickly messaged him today. I said, I know you would definitely not be testing your products on animals, but I just want to double check. You don't test on animals, you don't sell products in mainland China. And of course he came back to say that he absolutely does not test on animals, and he absolutely does not sell products in mainland China. So here we have my favourite from the line, Dendera, Check out the gorgeous bottle. It's like a jewel. It's probably one of my favourite bottles ever. Dendera takes me to Egypt. It's rich and it's spicy and it's incensey. It's a little bit dry. I just love it. I love what Peter's done. I love everything, absolutely everything about the brand that Peter's created. The fragrances, the ethics behind them. Peter's just done a raffle for a bespoke fragrance. One person won a bespoke fragrance, a one-off fragrance from his brand, and everyone that entered in the raffle, all the money went to a chimpanzee rescue place over in Liberia. Peter does a lot that he doesn't even talk about. He's very humble. He's kind of shy about how amazing he is. He really gives back. He's always given back, and I think, yeah, Centauri are a brand I would wholeheartedly support. Yeah, if you haven't tried them, get samples, check them out, check out the website. Just absolutely love Centauri perfumes. And Peter, he's a ray of light, he's a ray of sunshine. Has anyone else tried anything from Centauri perfumes? Give me a shout, let me know what you think. Oh, we haven't done gender. You're right, Andreas. I don't think I've got it in me. I might have to do that in another. I think I'm probably just going to do that in another stream. Hilary says there's also Aaron Terence Hughes. I'm not familiar with his fragrances. He was pretty adamant about no testing and not selling in China. Yes, yeah, I'm pretty sure he would be, because he really loves his animals. Empty Sense has got to go. Dip, enjoy your night. Oh, thank you, Empty Sense, for popping in. Brandon says love the entire Centauri line. Hillary's got Proxima and it's quite fun. Brandon says still need to get Proxima. I own Gaia and Dendera. I think yeah, Dendera is my favourite. Gaia I can really appreciate. It was a tiny bit green, I guess. It's kind of not my style of perfume, but I can really appreciate the quality of it. Proxima was really nice. Didn't quite do it for me. Maybe it was the strawberry note in there, I'm not quite sure, but the bottle for Proxima, that did it for me. That gorgeous rich blue. Can't wait to see what else he does. I think he's very talented. And yeah, Dendera is pretty much 99% all natural materials. Somehow manages to last gone past 12 hours on my skin. It's kind of weird, but somehow managed to get me a compliment from an Uber driver in Madeira. So yeah, I quite like wearing a bit of Dendera with something a bit sweeter. So I might do one Dendera spray on a wrist and something like a rose fragrance or a vanilla fragrance elsewhere. Jackie says, I would think Papillon wouldn't test on animals. Liz really loves her animals. Yeah, I did check the website. I couldn't find a statement on it. I know that they use real ambergris, which again we've already covered is almost certainly cruelty free. I didn't have time to send a message to Liz. I feel 100% confident with Liz's love of animals that there's no way in the world that she would go there, but I didn't have time to check. But I'm certain that yeah, we're all good there. Hilary, shit, did I mention Arquiste and Penhaligons? I can't remember. We definitely talked about Arquiste. I don't think we talked about Penhaligons. Andreas did talk about Penhaligons on his video. So yes, Penhaligons are cruelty free, although I think they are owned by a bigger brand that are not. So yeah, there is that grey area. There is, yeah, they are. Am I right there, Andreas? They're owned by a bigger company. Brandon got a hop off, covered in sweat, dirt and a bit of blood. Been a long work day. I don't know why that kind of got me excited. But anyway, have a great evening, Brandon. cheers. We've got two more brands to cover. So Gallivant perfumes, headed up by the lovely Nick Stewart, and really nice quality fragrances that are 30 mils. They're done for traveling, they are perfect for traveling, and they're all named after different cities in the world, and they're so fun. This one here is Los Angeles. Probably my favorite one is actually Brooklyn, but this is really cool, really fun. There's tuberose, there's some candy floss, there's some rubber, there's some guaiac wood and some vanilla, and it's fresh and it's vibrant, yet it's really complex. Gallivant's getting a lot of love at the moment. A lot of people testing out the fragrances and finding that they're really good, really good. They've got this sort of mass appeal without being generic. So they're mostly likable. They're not. So when I talked about Kieran NYC, I would say that's your first step on the ladder to niche. They're almost not designer, but they're, yeah, first step on the rung to niche fragrances. Gallivant's like a couple more steps into niche, but still pretty accessible in terms of actually being able to sample them, being able to buy them, the cost of them. They're not too expensive and they're not too weird and hard to understand. They're good fun fragrances. Brooklyn's my favorite, and that one is, to me, it smells like a lemony vanilla mostly. If you ask Jon Snow, he says it's orangey. I think the official notes are orange, but Lizzie and myself found it very lemony, so it's all subjective. Jackie says, love LA by Gallivant. The sea breeze notes are so good. Andreas, yes, Gallivant. I actually wanted to talk about them in the video, completely forgot. Jackie, what a succinct way to describe them, Claire. Accessible but not simplistic. Oh, thank you, Jackie. Yeah, what's great with Gallivant as well is they do a discovery set, and if you buy the discovery set and then you buy a full bottle, you get to redeem a discount off the full bottle. So again, you're then not it's not too much of an investment. You can test them all, and it's not too expensive to buy the discovery set, but if you decide to buy the full bottle, you get your money back. So it's really fantastic. Scott says, not orange lemon gate. Jackie says, orange lemon cake. Where's Tony? Cake, cake, cake. And Tony will appear. We better. Is he falling asleep? Cake. Right, okay, I've got one more brand. Where did I put them? Ended up down here. No, where did I put them? I'm just finding, oh, they're right next to me here. So I've got another brand here. Stories by Eliza Grace. We've got number 1 and number 2 here. These were sent to me a good 2 or more years ago. They were sent to myself and Dan to review on one or other of our channels, which we did at the time, and they're beautiful, very natural smelling, kind of fresh fragrances. My favorite has always been number 1, which is this one, and this one's slightly sweet, slightly figgy, slightly coconutty, with a they're both very outdoorsy. If you like Jo Malone fragrances, I think you'll like these. And Stories by Eliza Grace, they are only sold in the UK. They've got a few stockists in London and their own website. They've got some matching body products. I think they've got candles as well. And it's a really nice story. If you go on their website, you can read about the brand owner, the creative director, and she's inspired by her sort of childhood and her upbringing. And number 1 important factor is they are cruelty free. So Stories by Eliza Grace, if you like very natural smelling, outdoorsy kind of scents, then I think you might like these. I did have a look on their website today. They've got a little bit of a deal going on if you buy both perfumes together. I think it was £65, something like that. A really nice brand, and it was good of her to get straight back to me today, because I wanted to bring as many perfumes to the table as possible, and it was really nice that she confirmed straight away that they are cruelty free. So they're another brand to check out. They're UK based. Andreas says, has anyone got any more information on Healy? Yeah, if anyone knows about Healy, whether they are cruelty free. They don't, it seems from looking that they don't sell in mainland China. So I don't know why they would test on animals, but sometimes I think the issue can be with the suppliers. I think it must be quite complex to, if you're a perfumer, so imagine you're an indie perfumer and you source your ingredients from all sorts of different places. So you're never going to just buy your stuff from one company. You're going to source all sorts of stuff from all sorts of different places. Now imagine how difficult it is to check the history of those products and those companies, and whether or not they actually have tested on animals in the past, whether they still do now. It must be really difficult. So I'm not saying in any way that it's easy, but what I wonder if that's why some companies are a little bit reticent in coming back with answers. So for example, Healy, maybe they can't quite give a definitive answer on their suppliers. So I've personally feel like I would give a little bit of lenience on that. Obviously everyone's got their own stand and their own feelings on that, but I think it's quite difficult when it comes to suppliers. When you're putting a perfume together, you could have 40, 50, 60 different materials in a perfume, and they could potentially come from all these different suppliers. It must be difficult, it must be really difficult to be sure that then none of those ingredients are tested on animals. And when it comes to perfumery materials, so many of them have historically already been tested on animals. Like it's been done, it was done sort of 60 years ago or something. So you know, there's probably quite a grey area when it comes to suppliers and ingredients. Jimbo says, does anyone mention imaginary authors? I'm fairly certain they're cruelty free. I would imagine that they would be. Jackie's just sent an email to Healy because she loves their fragrances too. And I think that's the thing, as consumers, that's something that we can all do. I mean, I would love to see brands put a statement on their website, and that would save us all asking. So I had a look at quite a few websites today. Quite a lot don't say where they stand with animal cruelty or animal testing, should I say. I would really like to see brands put that in there somewhere on their website, because it's just basic it's transparency, isn't it? And at the end of the day, if you've got faith in your company and your products and what you're doing, then you should be happy to share everything, I think. So I would love to see brands put that on their website. Just find a spot for it and just put your stance, your policy on animal testing, and just let it be seen. Even if you're not 100% perfect, just put it there. Get it nicely worded, but yeah, put something on your website, I think. How do you all feel about that? Would you like to see more transparency from perfume brands? Sorry about flashing my shoulder like a slut. Okay, right. Have I got anything left to talk about? I think oh no, I'm just going to show you some brands that do test on animals. One of which I was surprised about. And I've seen this come up in a conversation today as well. Unfortunately, Atelier Cologne are owned by, I think it is L'Oreal. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's L'Oreal. So L'Oreal test on animals. That means Atelier Cologne test on animals. And I think these are sold in mainland China as well. So yeah, that's my favourite one. Pomelo Paradis, grapefruit, sweet fragrance, but yes, kind of sad. Olfactophiles fragrance reviews. You're Tara, aren't you? That's right. We're mixing up olfactory stories and olfactophiles fragrance reviews. Yes, Tara. Sorry, we've been mixing you up with because you've got the same olfactory title in your YouTube channel. A couple of us have been mixing you up with Kareen from Olfactory Stories. So hello Tara, nice to see you, and thank you very much for the compliment on the green colour. Yeah, unfortunately Atelier Cologne is not cruelty free, so there you go. Another fragrance that I really love that's not cruelty free is Elie Saab. Elie Saab's, this is Essence number 1 Rose. I love this fragrance. Unfortunately, the brand itself is not cruelty free, so that is very sad. Sad to know, unfortunately. So I'm just going to squeeze through these quickly, and I've got one more. And that's Chanel. Again, they are not cruelty free. Like pretty much all the major designers, you're unlikely to find a big designer house that is cruelty free. But obviously don't assume, just do your research if you care, you know. And again, not sitting here in judgment. Buy what you want to buy, do what you want to do, love what you want to love. I mean, this is a beautiful fresh fragrance. It's called Paris d'Urville from Chanel. It's a kind of green and fizzy and very vibrant and uplifting, perfect. Like this is the sort of thing that gets you out of bed. So imagine you've got a hangover and you can't get out of bed, but you have to because you have some sort of commitment that you can't get out of. Chanel d'Urville would probably give you a little bit of a hand getting out of bed. It just make you feel clean and give you a little kick up the arse, and it will just get you into the shower maybe. But unfortunately, yeah, tested on animals, so yeah, sad. I'm certainly not I'm not throwing my fragrances away just because they're tested on animals. That's just ridiculous. It's a waste, and I'm totally not going to do that. I'm just going to be a little bit more paying attention, a little bit more careful about my purchases, and I would rather purchase a cruelty-free perfume than something that's tested on animals. But I feel like I still want to buy that Galan fragrance, so yeah, that's for me to worry about later. And I'm certainly not, I'm not going to ask how you are going to handle things going forward. That's for you to take your time over and sort of go and watch Andreas's video, go and do your own research, make your own mind up, and if you feel like sharing your thoughts, your opinions and your research and your information on your own platform, I think it's a really good topic to share. Let's spread the word. I think so many of us have been sat in blissful ignorance thinking that this stuff isn't going on, and unfortunately it is. Hopefully it will come to an end at some point with China changing their law, but in the meantime it is still going on. So yeah, it's just something to be aware of, I guess. That's really it. I'm not going to touch on the gender in fragrances topic because I'm tired and I'm done. So I will definitely be touching on that one very, very soon because it's kind of, I don't know, it's an interesting topic that's come up lately. And Matt from Pocket Sense, just a little side note for everyone to consider: IFRA use animal testing results from the US to create the safety guidelines that us in Europe must follow. So technically, everyone in Europe has a hand in animal testing to an extent. Yeah, okay, that is something to think about. Yeah. Andrea says Jo Malone, Chanel, Hermes. That's sad. Thanks so much, Claire, for using your platform to talk about this too. Well, thank you, Andreas, for bringing it up and for bringing it to my attention, and therefore now everyone here, and hopefully little ripples will go out as people divulge and think about and stuff. And yeah, you know, if people vote with their money or vote with their social media platforms in however which way they want, we could potentially change things. It's a possibility. Tara says, thanks Andreas and Claire. Right, so yeah, I'm kind of done because I'm really, I feel like I'm flaking. I'm done. Thank you so much everyone for watching. Cheers. Thank you for sharing your comments and your opinions. It's much appreciated. I will definitely be covering the gender topic at a later date. In the meantime, look after yourselves and I'll see you all very, very soon. Where's my ex? There it is.